Hi. What's up, everybody? I am T. I am your host. We kind of got a little winter. Not much. Enough to prove that it does kind of happen here. Most of the snow in the Salt Lake area happens in the mountains anyway, and that's fine. We are hanging out in the garage. It's been a minute since we were here. Well, I should say, it's been a minute since you were here. When we last left off, we were in the garage. We had just gotten some darts moved around. We'd finished a framed wall in here for future build. Well, we're back. We've got some more stuff to do. I do have a couple things I need to do on the dart. That's not going to happen today. Hope you guys had a great Christmas. It is after Christmas at this point of filming, which stands to reason that it's also after Christmas for viewing. So, hope you had a great holiday. Now, we've been trying to spend a little time with family, take a break from some of the extracurriculars just to spend that quality time. Even a little bit of time away from work, which is much needed. Not too much, just in case they're watching. It's been nice. It really has. And T even expanded his horizons into the kitchen. Mrs. T and I have a small garden, and we grew a bunch of pumpkins. So I took some of those pumpkins and I turned them into food. I suppose pumpkins are food, but you'd rather mix them in with something else before you eat them. Thanksgiving, I made pies. And yes, they were delicious. I was very shocked that they worked out. Christmas time, I still had some pumpkins. Cut the rest of them up and made some more pumpkin puree. And made pumpkin bread. That bread was good. I would say probably don't get used to that, me baking and such. Every now and then I get a wild hair and I decide to do something crazy. And if baking pumpkin-themed items is crazy, well, call me ready for the nut house. What we have here appears to be somewhat of a puzzle. Mrs. T and I like to do a holiday puzzle inside the house. And I am going to put together a puzzle out in the garage as well. Battery, starter, gas can, flex plate, torque converter bolts, engine, transmission. What in the world, T, is going on here? In the spirit of fun and good times, we're going to use some of this holiday time to have a little fun and do something a little bit sketchy. Yep, we're bringing back the engine run stand. You might remember the last time, actually the Moho Motivator 440, that turned out to be a problematic engine with bad cam. Still having problems with that one. We'll get back to that one soon. But I am going to bolt this crap together, and I'm going to attempt to start this on the floor of my garage. I know a little bit about all this combination. A buddy of mine called me up and said he knew a guy that was getting rid of a bunch of stuff and asked if I wanted it. And being a hoarder of all things Mopar, I said yes. This stuff was destined for the scrap heap. Rumor has it that this engine ran and that this transmission was getting tired. Best case, this thing runs. Worst case, it doesn't, and maybe I get hurt. I don't know. So we're going to try and avoid that by doing this sketchy thing as safely as we can. You're going to want to stick around. What we have here is the drivetrain out of one 1967 Plymouth Satellite. Yep, it was a small block car, a 904 torque flight transmission, paired with a 273 two-barrel V8. What I want to do today is get these things bolted together. We're going to find out if this 273 will start and or run, start and run. Might need to do a little bit with it, but the ignition, distributor, plug wires, plugs, all that remains in place as pulled. Not much going on the front. No belt, no driving pulleys. In fact, there won't be any water in this engine unless there was a little bit left in the jackets. We're not going to run it very long. We just need to know Will it run? I don't know how long it's been off the road. My guess is somewhere between 5 to 10 years. Let's get in there and see if you can see that casting number. 2806 perhaps? 030. And you can kind of see, well, not very well. This block was cast in 1966. Can't tell if that's a 5. Oh, May 6, 1966. Probably on par for an early 67 model year. And there's some interesting things about this engine. It's, one, either been rebuilt at some point, or somebody at least broke it down part way, pulled it to do some maintenance. This one has brass freeze plugs in it. I did want to put the old bar on it and see if we can turn it over. If we can't, we're done here. So far so good. Should probably put this camera down. Doing this one-handed is not the funnest thing. And I haven't been paying attention, but I don't feel any issue. It turns over. I'm happy with that. At this point, I am going to put the camera down. Now we're going to do some bolting. We're going to stab this converter. There's fluid in the converter, and it actually doesn't look too bad. These are a pain in the butt. One more click. There we go. It's like we're not in there yet. We are now. Hi. Gonna try to line it up on the dowels. Alright, we've got a transmission bolted to this engine. 4 out of 6 possible bolts are in place. We have a starter. Starter's bolted in. A cable. Battery cable, I should say. This engine does have a fuel pump on it. It's got some random other crap too. This big behemoth of hose looks like it's connected to the drain, the antifreeze drain in the block. This hose goes down to fitting on the oil pan. But we'll get a fuel line put on there. Coil, we got to hook up a coil and set power up. And I do have to run and get some gasoline. We're just about there. Just about got all my tomfoolery and hijinks set up. I did come across what I perceived to be a potential issue. And you see there's an exhaust manifold here. And it happens to exit right over the starter and the wiring for my remote starter switch. I am going to have to figure something out to deflect, reroute even the exhaust. We'll see if we can find something that's flame resistant, fire retardant, to at least reroute the heat of the exhaust away from my wiring there. Let's see if we've got crankage. Oh yeah. Got a charger on the battery right now. We're just warming it up. I think it's okay, but gonna prime the carburetor here a little bit. All right, we're full. I do have the extinguisher, should I need it. Power for the starter. Ground for the whole get up. And a hot for the coil. And I'll see if we got any spark. Then I kicked the ground off by moving my shield. This was my shield. Yep, and it knocked the ground off. I'm assuming that's what killed it. Fuel pump is a sieve. Yeah, it looks like that thing's soaking from everywhere. Okay, it needs a fuel pump, but I think the fuel pump's trying to work. We're gonna try and get it going one more time here. I'm not gonna run it very long, obviously, because of the coolant factor. Beautiful. She runs. A poor old 273 pulled in favor of big block power and started in T's Good Times garage on the engine run stand. Something like that. We've got a runner. And she sounds like she's hitting on 8. This could potentially be a good runner for a little project. And I'm always on the hunt. I think maybe a good early A body. Not this one, sorry guys. I'll be on the lookout. Maybe an old Valiant. I've had a few Barracudas, 65s and 6s. Honestly, I had one that would have been perfect for this. A white 65 automatic transmission with a bad 273. It was locked up in it. We've got a good solid sounding 273 that appears to be firing on all 8. Let's see what we can find to put this in. That said, if you know somebody or need one yourself, let me know. Maybe we can work something out. Probably keeping the 904 though, guys. I'm pretty dang happy about this. I don't know how good that carb is. So we'd want to rebuild that. Put a fuel pump on it and probably a tune-up. These wires are a little stiff. Yeah, dang it. I was gonna put a gauge on it. I forgot. Apparently we have pressure. We do have oil seeping out of the sending unit. So I'm gonna guess that we have oil pressure. Yeah, I overlooked that one. But it sounds good. I won't say this will be the last engine I start on the current T's Good Times garage run stand. We do have one in the works. Stick around for this video. It's not there yet because obviously we're still building it. But that will be a run stand at some point. She's a beaut, Clark. We've got lots in store for 2025. Lots of stuff on the list. We're going to hope to get a few things accomplished. My Dart, of course, over there on the far side. My Valiant. And maybe one day we'll actually introduce you to this car. We're just not there yet. Of course, my 68 Dodge Charger needs some help. Darlene, the other 67 Dart living in the trailer, and Riley's Duster, Daryl. We've got a 383 short block in here that needs to move forward. A video forthcoming on that soon as well. I do have some plans. I think I've made some decisions. So thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to get back to it here real quick. Maybe even some racing. Who knows? For sure by springtime, but I'm trying to get to the track a little sooner than that. Thanks for watching, everybody. I do appreciate it. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much. And if you're not, well, please give that some consideration. That would be fantastic to have you on board. And if you don't mind hitting that like button, that would be fantastic. Happy New Year, everybody. Here's to a great 2025 for all of you. And hope we can bring you some cool stuff here in 2025 as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.